So good morning, everyone. What we would like to do today in the next sessions is really to explain how automation is going to help manage sustainability. So we'll start in this session to talk about Crosswork Network Controller and how we can help to measure and then eventually to optimize the energy measurement. I'm Eric Orto. I'm a product manager in the Crosswork group. I'm here today with Sriharsha, who is going to help and will give a demo of what we do today. I borrow this slide from Bertrand, so if you were not here this morning at the first time, just to explain why we are talking about sustainability. It's really top of mind for our customers, it's top of mind for Cisco. So not only want to save the planet, but probably in a more concrete fashion, we want to reduce energy costs, and we want to reach those net zero targets. So if we want to do so, we need to measure them. We need to measure energy consumption, we need to measure energy costs, and we need to act to be able to change or to optimize those costs. So what Bertrand presented as well is how the Cisco routing technology, how can we help? And we can help at different levels. We can help at the hardware level, at the network OS level, and then ultimately at the automation level. And our next session, this session and the two next sessions, we will explain how we can help on the automation. How we can help with automation is, first of all, we want to be able to measure the energy consumption, energy KPIs. So we want to provide visibility. We want to provide insights on this. Once we are able to measure those KPIs, we want to be able to optimize. We want to optimize the network, either in real time or at least to provide recommendation on which action we should take to make sure that the network is optimized. That's in real time, once the network is up and running. But maybe what's interesting as well is to plan ahead. And what Eleni and Julia will present after me is how we can design, how we can plan an efficient, an energy-efficient network. Last but not least, we want to reduce truck rolls. We want to reduce field intervention. So we want to make sure that we provide the right tools to avoid too many truck rolls. So something like zero-touch provisioning, for example, is going to help quite a lot. I did not mention what we do at the network OS level, but of course, automation is going to leverage what we provide. It's going to leverage the telemetry, the KPIs. You will see that we have new power-saving modes on the devices. We can shut down some interfaces. We can optimize the PSU, the fans. So everything, we need to make sure that the automation platform can leverage those capabilities. So let me now jump into the CNC topic, the Crosswork Network Controller, and how it can help with energy management. So first of all, I don't know if you are all familiar with CNC, Crosswork Network Controller. So it's maybe a complex slide, but just to explain, the Crosswork Network Controller is our IP SDN controller. It has many components, many features. Some of the features that we are going to leverage for energy management are typically the element management at the bottom left. Why? Because this is where we're going to have a complete inventory of the network, including the devices, including the interfaces, the subcomponents, the PSUs. We are going to leverage the visualization. We want to see the energy KPIs on the map. We want to see graphs of the energy KPIs. We are going to leverage the dynamic traffic and network optimization eventually to make sure that we can optimize the network not only based on classical KPIs, but also on energy-related KPIs. And we want to, in the future, be able to provide some interesting closed-loop automation scenario based on energy KPIs as well. So basically, the CNC was the right tool to collect, present, and optimize those energy KPIs. So if we think about it, once again, we want to do two things with CNC. And you will see that today we do the blue part, the part on the left. And our target is, of course, to be able to deliver the green part. So what is the blue part? The blue part is about collecting the KPIs, collecting the sustainability indicators over time, and keep it over time, and present them. Excuse me. And of course, also to detect any anomalies, any threshold crossing for those KPIs. That's the blue part. And we want to do it at device level, which is fairly easy. But then we want to be able to aggregate at the network level and eventually at the service level. What you need to understand is that what we get from the device, so when I'm saying we are collecting KPIs, we are collecting actually technical KPIs. We are collecting temperature, we are collecting PSU load, things like that. But still, at the end, we want to be able to report against the carbon footprint, the energy cost. What you need to understand is that some information, we cannot take this information from the device directly. Carbon footprint, or energy cost, will change from one location to another. So we need to make sure that we can correlate the technical KPIs that we take from the device with some external information, if you want, that will provide, for a given location, the energy cost, the carbon footprint, and things like that. So there is a correlation exercise between pure technical KPIs that we get from the network and some information that come from outside. Once we have all those KPIs, both the technical KPIs and the carbon footprint and the energy cost, then it seems to be very interesting to optimize the network. And first of all, to be able to give a recommendation. So to say, oh, you are consuming too much energy in that area, maybe you should do something. What can we do? So basically, we can maybe shut down or turn up some line cards or some equipments when it makes sense, when they are not used, or on the contrary, when you have too much demand. You may want to be able to change power mode on the device. Or even, at the end, you could think of moving traffic from a high cost link to a greener path, if you want. So you can imagine multiple use cases once you have full visibility on the energy consumption. So if I try to summarize what we want to do across the Crosswork suite, we start from the top left in that case. So as I said, we want to collect technical KPIs. We want to store those KPIs and present them. So that the presentation or the visualization is on the top right, where you want to be able to have this network level view of KPIs. You want to be able to drill down to the technical details, to the components. And this is what we are going to show during the demo, more or less. This is what we have. We have a proof of concept for this on the Crosswork Network Controller. And this is what the demo will be about. The next step, or maybe the two next steps, let's say, optimization. As I explained, this is not something we can do today, but this is something we want to do. So hopefully in 2025, we'll be able to optimize networks, or at least to give a recommendation of what we should do. So based on what we collect from the network itself, or from and with a correlation of outside information, then we will be able to provide recommendations, or even maybe to do some automatic action on the network itself. And last but not least, on the bottom left, the planning and design, where what Eleni and Julia are going to describe in details in the next session is a key activity as well. You want to be able to plan your network based on energy consumption. Just before we go to the demo, I'd like to just to give you a sense of the roadmap for the Crosswork Network Controller and the sustainability KPIs and sustainability measurement. What we are going to show in the demo is typically exactly what we describe in the CNC 7.0 POC. So we are going to provide KPIs at the PSU level, like input-output power, load, temperature. We are going to provide KPIs at the optical transceiver level as well, at the device level. Excuse me. You will see during the demos that we can show those KPIs on the map, or you can graph them, obviously. You can have threshold crossing alerts, things like that. What we want to do in 2025, sorry, probably mid-2025. Unfortunately, it's not fully committed yet, but we are working on having this in the product. So first of all, we want to productize this POC. So by the way, don't hesitate to talk to us after the session, give us feedback, and we would like, we like to take your feedback and integrate your feedback in the product. So what we'll do in 7.1 is really to productize this POC, making sure that we have all the KPIs, making sure that we can correlate with external data source as well. And then something which is missing from the demo, but that I will show after the demo, we are missing the dashboard. We want to provide advanced dashboard on energy KPI. That will come in 7.1 as well. And we expect to have a POC around optimization of the traffic based on energy consumption. And then on the roadmap, we have a lot of ideas. And I'm pretty sure by talking to you today, we'll get even more ideas, probably. So we want to improve the optimization piece. So making sure that you can reroute traffic based on energy KPIs, being able to shut down components or to turn on components when you need them, improve the visibility, the trending, the forecasting by doing some other level of aggregation per service, per VPN, provide some prediction on how energy is going to be consumed, detect anomalies, and then I think overall we want to improve all the closed loop scenarios that we have in mind. So making sure the system can react on any energy situation. That's what we have in mind. With that being said, I will let Sriharsha go through the demo. Over to you.
Okay. Thanks, Eric. Hello, everyone. Today, I'll be running this demo for energy-based dashboards on Crosswork Network Controller. As a part of this demonstration, we are going to showcase 4 particular things, which are going to be, one is going to be the topology map, where you can find the information related to the energy savings and the energy or the power consumption loads and those kind of things on the topology itself. And the second is, it will let you create, or like we are going to show you where you can create your policies on the dashboards. Once you create the policies, whenever there's a breach on these policies, you would get an alarm. And where can you find these alarms is the third one. And at the last, we are going to show what threshold settings you can make, or like what threshold settings you can create in order to showcase it onto the visually on your topology map. With that being said, let's get started. As you can see, this is the landing page of Crosswork Network Controller with the topology map. And on the right, you can see here, you have all the hosts, which are typically the hosts that you see on the topology map here. And then we have a power consumption tab, which typically where you can find the information related to your output power, input power, and your power supply load. The power supply load here is calculated based on the output power versus the received input power. And depending upon the color coding is done based on the threshold settings that we have put in place. And at the end of this video, I will showcase where you can set those particular settings as well. You can change, is it running?
You have to click, I guess.
I have to click.
Yeah.
Oh, OK. Let's give it a minute. So as you can see, I was just mentioning about the house and those kind of things. And then we have the power consumption tab, where you have power supply load, input power, and output power. And this is a pre-recorded demo, so I can't speed it up at this point. So let's give it a few seconds to catch up, and then I can continue with it. Yeah. Now we can change the view to capture the alarms, and we can enable the alarms, and we can also look at the device settings where you can enable your power consumption metrics, where you can see these things visually represented on the topology map itself. You can customize your views the way you like, and now the next step would be to go onto the host and see what is happening at the host level. Now let's go ahead and select router R10 to get some more information about why it's complaining about, it's in red color, why is it complaining about its power supply load. So you can click on it, and you would get this detailed information about its IP address and the rest of the information. The interesting part here is, for us here today, is about the power consumption, which clearly gives you an idea about what is the power supply load, input power, and output power. You can go to history to drill down upon the graphs of CPU utilization, memory utilization, and the rest of the energy dashboards as well, like the power supply input, power supply output, and the environment, which is environment energy around the system box here. So we capture all this information and we plot it on the graphs for you guys. And you can go to detailed inventory as the next step to learn more about the interface level information that is being provided here. So you can look at the interfaces, and you can select your interface of your interest. And we are showcasing here about the history, and you can go down to the respective interface of your interest, and you can look at the input rate, output rate, if there are any discards and those kind of things. All this information is provided here. The most key information that is of our interest today here is the optical receive rate, receive power, and the optical transmit power. And we also provide you the rest of the information, like the voltage, current, and power supply information here, and the temperature of the environment around it. So, so all this information is captured on the energy dashboards of CNC. The next step is to go into the device level management and create your own performance policies in order to generate alarms based on your logics. So here, I'm creating a power performance policy, which, and I'm selecting the devices of my interest, and I would hit next. I would create my power consumption policy, which is polling up to 5 minutes in a cadence of 5 minutes. And my interest here is power supply input and power supply load. So I'm creating the respective alarms based on my own values. Currently, I'm giving give me a major alarm if the input power supply is more than 300 watts, or give me a critical alarm if my power supply load is less than 10%. And if it happens one time, just give me an alarm. And the same thing I did create for optical as well. And here we are collecting this information. And I've selected the device of my interest. And the polling frequency is 5 minutes again. The next step is to find where these alarms are. They are on the alerts page under alarms and events. My interest here is to look at the device category and look at what's happening about different alarms that are being reported here. You can click on the alarm and get information about where is this alarm, what is the breach that has happened, and which policy got breached. And all this information, along with the description, is provided as a part of the alarm details. The next step would be to look at the history if you would be interested in the history of what's happening and why did this alarm got raised and those kind of things. An example for major is also being shown here. And as you can see here in this major alarm, the power supply unit is at a certain volts, and it's more than 300 watts. So that is the reason this particular thing got triggered. The last step in this demo is to set the thresholds so that you can see this particular visualization on your screen on the topology view. You would go under topology, under administration, and then you would set your metrics. These metrics are based on the way you like. I said, give me a red color if it's between 0 and 10, green if it's between 20 and 90, and those kind of things. Those are the values that I put in. And based on these values, this particular topology is populated. And as you can see, this particular information is being reflecting here based on the settings that you would configure on the threshold settings. With that, I would like to conclude the demo and hand it over to Eric.
Thank you, Sriharsha.
Thank you, Eric.
So the goal. Okay. The goal of the demo was really in 5 minutes to give you a sense of what we can do with Crosswork Network Controller today, to collect those technical KPIs, to show them on the map, to show them in graphs, set thresholds, and get alarms. As I tried to explain before, I mean, we are going to make it more sophisticated by combining KPIs from, information, let's say, coming from other source for carbon footprint and energy costs, typically. The next step as well, and unfortunately we don't have it today in the POC, is to provide dashboard, because we have all those KPIs and that we want to present. We want to aggregate those KPIs per network, per service, and things like that. So the end goal, not the end goal, I should not say that, but the next step is really to provide dashboard. If you are familiar with CNC, this is the true landing page of CNC with what we call dashlets with high-level information. We will provide a new dashlet if you want, or a few dashlets to show the energy KPI at the highest level. And then you will be able to drill down to more detailed time series information per device or top 10 device information and so on and so forth. We have a few more examples of dashboard. If you are interested, feel free to come to us and we can show you what we have in mind. With that being said, I'd like to conclude the presentation with a few takeaways. So today, this morning, we are talking about sustainability, so no issue. It's top of mind. It's a critical topic. I'm not sure we are going to save the planet today, but at least we try to make a better future. And when we speak sustainability, we cover, Bertrand spoke about it. It can cover multiple areas, like even packaging, product life cycle, and things like that. What we tried to do this morning was really to focus on what network automation can do today and what we will be able to do tomorrow. Because we believe it will, for us as service providers or even enterprise, network automation will play a great role to improve energy consumption and reduce energy costs. We have this first POC with Crosswork Network Controller. Eleni and Julia are going to show you the POC on way, on the planning tool as well. So we are working on this in this direction. We welcome your feedback. We have a lot of ideas, but if you have ideas, feel free to come to us and let's discuss about them. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you.